is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today at an RTT. We wound up going 2 and 3 with a super fun Soulforged Warpack list. So if you guys knew the channel, we were #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world last year. This year we're really focused on Death Guard. The year before that we were Grey Knights, so we actually happened to play Grey Knights in our first game in this RTT. But we do these all the time: battle reports, RTT videos, grand tournament videos. If you guys are new to the channel, you'll see a bunch of videos in the past that you guys can click on and kind of see what we did. It goes over picture by picture, turn by turn, what we could do good, what we could have done better, and kind of things that we would change about the list. So it's going to be a 3-part series. Each game that we're going to be going over, we're going to go over the list, and we're going to go over our opponent's list and kind of see, you know, what we would have been kind of focused on winning that game. But we wound up going 2 and 3, which is still fun. Probably never going to run this list the same way. There's definitely a lot of tweaks I would do at the end after game 3. But we're going to go over each video specifically, the first one being Grey Knights, the second one being Dark Angels, and the third one also being Dark Angels with the new Lions attachment coming out. Everybody wanted to run it. If you guys are Patreons, you get all these videos ahead of time on patreon.com. You get your own Patreon link on Discord, so that way you get to message us specifically in the Patreon tab. And also, if you guys are interested in the coaching, you join the Dirtbag Nation. You get one of us in your corner to ask any questions, bounce ideas off of, stuff like that. And if you're really getting into the serious competitive 40k, there's the Grandmaster tier, where you can message me one-on-one and we go over calls once a month about a GT that you have coming up or battle reports that you guys are doing. That's basically what the Grandmaster tier is all about. But guys, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting me. Let's get into the list and then we'll go over each game. Alright guys, if you want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. The description below has the link. All these shirts are up for sale. These legit red, white, and blue shirts look fire at a GT. They're super comfortable, super non-shrinkage. It's just a really, really nice shirt. Spent a lot of time picking out the right shirt. All these designs are up for sale. All the stickers as well. And if you guys need some models, we got the Cypher, which is legit. We got the Tech Marine with Grey Knight bits. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Captain, the Kaldis Assassin should be in every list, and old school Codiez. We have the widgets, 6-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, half-inch. We have our objective markers, which are great for sticky objectives, any marking for oath, anything like that, and all of the stickers. So hit me up on Discord, DM, that's how you get a hold of these, and the merch tab below for the shirts. Now back to the video. Alright guys, so the list, this was voted on by the Patreons, by the way. So we posted a bunch of lists that we really wanted to run at fun. Usually RTTs are for fun for us because our meta is just insane. It would just be a Shark Tank. It wouldn't really invite new players to play at these RTTs if every single top player there just ran like the most busted lists. So a lot of the top guys at these tournaments run really fun lists. But they play competitively, so they run like Night Lords, right, or shit like that. I'm running Soulforged Warpack, which I've only run once before this tournament, and we're actually bringing a Lord of Skulls. So that's the kind of list that you'll see at these top players, you know, that are running. So it's usually not their main army. If you are practicing for a GT prior to this, like there's a Lone Star Open coming up, there's Nova coming up, so if you have that GT coming up, it's always good to run your tournament list to practice 3 games in a day. But there's nothing really coming up for us. The points nerf or the update sheet for Space Marines kind of just landed. Dark Angels just came out, so there was a lot of like different stuff people wanted to try. So that's kind of what this RTT was about. But the list that we're running, I'll link it in the description below, but it's Cypher. He should be in every Chaos Space Marine list. We are selling the Cypher model. If you guys are interested, it's a really, really sick model. And then we have Vastor, because Vastor I think is insane now for the Space Marines. Him making Forge Fiends strength 12 is kind of dumb. And with Soulforged +1 to wound, so you're strength 12 +1 to wound, and you're winning almost everything in the game on 2s now because Knights are T11. And Vastor has Lone Op, which is just dumb. It's what he needed, honestly. Like without him having Lone Op, I don't think he still would be an auto include. But him getting the Demon Prince thing where you're loading up within 3 inches of a vehicle, a demon vehicle. Then we have the Warpsmith. This Warpsmith has a tempting addendum. So that's the full rerolls to hit within 3 inches of them every time they do a Dark Pact. So he is like the key of the list. He has a long base, so you kind of like spread him out, twist him sideways, so that way everybody can try and get within 3 inches. You're not going to get everybody within 3 inches, but the ones that you really care about the most, which are the Forge Fiends or the Lord of Skulls, those are going to be the ones that are going to get the full rerolls. 3 cultist mobs because we need some action monkeys. So we have 3 10-man cultist mobs. 2 of them usually start on the table and 1 in reserves in case I had to walk in and do an action. Then we had Vindicator. You can spend 1 CP to make him a demon engine, so that way he can proc the full rerolls to hit. But every game, most of the time, we walked him in from reserve because having a Vindicator walk in from reserve was +1. I guess +1 to wound doesn't work on the demons, so he wouldn't get it. But still, him coming in from the table edge, just us, hey, surprise, here's a Vindicator, is always clutch. And then we have 2 Soulforged or Forge Fiends. These are the guns. These are the guys that are gonna have the strength 12 because of Astor, and then full rerolls to hit with blast is just nuts. Hellbrute is there because anytime they crit on 6s, they're gonna get lethal and sustain with the Dark Pacts, and then +1 to wound at the same time. So I was testing a skull with my last list, and I took the skull out for Blue Horus, so just to have some more action monkeys, and they have infiltrate, so it keeps your demon engines somewhat safe for turn 1, maybe turn 2, because they can start forward, get your turn 1 secondaries going, and then kind of run forward if you need them to just kind of screen out your opponent, which came into play a little bit. But Hellbrute was there, really good. I put him with 2 Flamers and 2 Hellbrute Fists. In this attachment, he'll get, I think, 5 base, +2 for having 2 close combat weapons, and then +2 for being in Soulforged. So he'll get basically 9 attacks in combat. You can let him hit on 2s if you happen to hit him with your Warpsmith before he gets into combat. So he's kind of a beat stick. 3 damage, fists, and then 2 flamers, 2 heavy flamers, in case you need to get some, elves that are trying to charge you or something. Then we have the Lord of Skulls, 450 points. I'm trying the Skull Hurler and the Storm Cannon, the Gore Storm Cannon. The reason I picked one of these 2, people don't usually pick because it's only 3 damage. But my process was I get 4 rolls to hit, and it's +2 strength. So you go from strength 10 to strength 12. It's D6 +3 blast. So it's better than just D6 shots, right? For the D6 +2 damage or whatever. So I'm going more for like the shot output and the +1 to wound and the 3 damage. And there's a strat that you can get +1 AP as well. So that's kind of why I chose these ones in Soulforged specifically with Vastor +2 strength. That's kind of why I chose these weapons on him. And he's insane. Like, he soaks up a ton of shots, being toughness 13. And you can heal him as well. Then Venom Krullos in Soulforged is just so good. 12 shots. A lot of people don't know that they have 2 guns on them, which are 6 shots each. A lot of comments below are going to be like, oh my god, I thought they only had 6 shots. No, they have 12 shots each. So if you bring 3 of them, that's 36 shots, hitting on 3s, full rerolls to hit. You could go AP1, AP2 on one of them, but it's 2 damage, 36 inch range, and +1 to wound. Strength 8, I'm sorry. Wow, strength 8 because of fucking Vastor. They're nuts. So 2 of them. And then we have, like I said, the Blue Horrors for some action monkeys and turn 1 secondaries with infiltrate. But that is the list, guys. It's actually a pretty competitive list. The only thing, like, changes, which is taking out the Lord of Skulls for other vehicles, right? But this is a very good list if you want to bring the Lord of Skulls with Vastor, with Soulforged, and that. So definitely test this out because it was really fun. So let's get into the games right now. What's up, gents? All right, so this is game 3 of the RTT with the Soulforged Warpack. Super fun list. But this is Brian, a really good local player. He is running the Dark Angel new detachment like we had last game against Kyle. So this detachment way different than Kyle's. Kyle's more a competitive, balanced list. Brian and I always bring fun lists to RTTs because that's kind of what it's all about. Like, if you're not practicing for a GT, which we don't really have any GTs coming up. Like we do now, we have Lone Star open, and we have Nova open, and LVO and Worlds. But this was kind of like a 2 weeks ago, so we didn't really have anything coming up. So we're like, yeah, let's just play some fun list. This list, he kind of went too far fun with it, but this is what he brought. New Dark Angel attached, and everything's -1 to wound. Three of the Terminators, 2 10-mans. One is the CP guy, Lion, obviously. Scout Squad, character, the troops, 10-man with the bolters, 10-man with the bolters, and then 5-man with the lone op guy that has the reactive move character. Sorry if I don't know the names, but that is the list, and this is our mission. So we are playing Supply Drop, one of the hardest primary missions to score, and with a lot of practice you can kind of know how to deploy for it and where it's going to end up. So they changed it in the new edition where it's always the center. Like, you know, the center is never going away. So you can kind of plan and deploy knowing that by the end of the game, you have to get to the center. So knowing also that wherever 1 and 2 are, this is our deployment, and this was the first one that goes away. This was the second one that goes away. I deployed so that way I can either be on one of these objectives turn 1, and knowing that the first one's going to go away on top of 4, you're not going to get any points for it on 4 and on 5. So for 2/3 of the game, you're not going to have to fight on that side of the table. So if you, for example, put one of your guys on that point, they have to commit and either kill him or get to him and fight him in melee to kill him to stop you from getting primary. So it's good to kind of like force your opponent go completely opposite that he wants to go, right? To try and stop you from getting primary, because if not, you're just going to get 10 extra points by him not contesting it at all. So that's kind of what we did, knowing this, because on turn 1 or turn 4, this one's going away, and this one goes away second, and this one obviously is the last one. So this is our deployment. Kind of similar every single time. We have the big guy right in the center because he could just tow this and see over most of it. Vastor, Forge Fiend on 2 opposite sides, so we can get this angle going this way, and this angle we can go up here, shoot there, or come this way and shoot both ways. So this Forge Fiend there is clutch, that Forge Fiend there is clutch. We have all the rerolls up here. This one I'm going to sacrifice not having rerolls until I get either up here or down here. So the Cypher is right in the center, so you can run up here every single time. The Hellbrute is there. The reroll guy, I think, is back here somewhere. He might be under this wall or in between all this shit. No, he's right there. So this is the reroll everything guy. 12 inches can get me from there to there in case he has to come out. But these guys deploy the same way every single time. We went over in the last video where you're 1 inch away from the wall and then one guy right there. So that way you're 2 inches from this guy and then everybody else behind the wall. These guys blocking out there this way, these guys blocking out that way, and then the other 10-man in reserves, and then the Vindicator also in reserves, because him coming in from the side is scary for any army that you face. For his deployment, he's got 2 Terminators on the board, 1 in Deep Strike, the Lions on the board, 2 10-mans. This one is there, the other one I think is in reserves. Yeah, he might have had the other one in reserves, or the other one is right there. Yeah, I don't think he's there. Is he coming in from reserves? Yeah, okay, so he came in from reserves. That's what it was. Okay, so this is his deployment. These guys blocking out back here. He does have sticky, so he's got to start at least one guy on the point. We have our one guy on the point right there, but you notice how I deployed kind of like this. You guys can see I have one guy on the point here and then going straight back there, and there, and there. So that way you can't see through this little wall at all to see this guy. He deployed right on the point there, which I can see kind of like down this wall because he's in the ruin. If he would have done the same thing where he put his model right there, and then there, and then there, I wouldn't be able to see this guy, and he would still make it sticky. So I wouldn't be able to get an angle, I don't believe, with this big guy, because all he has to do is touch this. I see through this little wall right here, as long as I'm tall enough, which I am, and then I can just shoot down this way. But I wouldn't have been able to get a line going to this guy if he was standing right there. Hopefully that made sense for you guys. Right there, which is where our dude was, right there. And then I went back 2 inches behind the wall, 2 inches behind the wall, stuff like that. So that was clutch, because on turn 1, which we go first again, Turn 1, we move up our lower skulls going this way, 8 inches, and then he got a straight line going from his shoulder, straight going this way, and saw this guy right here, and just put all of his shots into him. So we blew these guys up off the table. We have a 1 CP strat for +1 AP. He's got 1 CP strat for -1 AP. I think we did the AP strat to hopefully make sure that we can do it. We have the full rerolls to hit, +1 to hit, so hitting on 2s, and then I get to crit on 6s for lethal and sustain. So you're basically just fishing, like you're rolling 2s, fishing for 6s. We probably rolled like 4 6s maybe, and then just blew them up with AP2, AP3. So good job, Lower Skulls. Killed his sticky objectives back there. And then we spread out again, same thing, put one guy there, everything else kind of moved up. We moved this guy out so that way he can get some overwatching threat, because full rerolls to hit with lethal and sustain on 6s is very scary for Forge Fiend, strength 12. I don't think that one's strength 12, he's not within 6 of this guy, but this guy's strength 12, within 6 inches of Vastor. Venom Crawler, like I said, moved up there to force him to come this way somehow. And most of our army's up here because this one's going to be fighting over on turn 4, top of 4, and this one's going to be fighting over on turn 5. So turn 1, we get secure no man's land and recover assets, which was pretty easy turn 1 because we just held all 3. And then for his turn, he moves up his scouts because he gets engage in all fronts and assassination. So nothing that he can really kill for assassination because all my guys are hidden. But I believe he stopped me from getting a point here because I only had one guy in there, so he stopped the primary there, and then moved up his one guy on there to stop primary there because I only had one guy on each of these points. So for him, he just basically stopped primary, and gave me this one guy over here for 5. So I got 5 for primary. He moves up everything, sets these Terminators up for next turn. These guys, I believe they rapided in up here, and he wasn't able to get all of them outside 6 inches. So I think I shot down this line to there, and then, or no, he was. And then basically next turn, if he moves up, I overwatch him to try and kill him. So yeah, I think he rapids these guys in, or just brought him in. He might have just I think he rapided in those guys. Terminator scooch up to the wall. These guys move up. These guys move up to the wall. These guys move up, and my lower skulls move up here to get line of sight onto these guys, and I think this character, and I think I'm within 12 here, so I can try and kill like one shot the character to make sure I get that. Which on turn 2 we had Area Denial and no prisoners. So Area Denial, I got here, I ran out my blues just to kind of like block somehow. So I had these guys that I'm trying to block, these guys I'm trying to block, and the line is coming down somewhere. So yeah, these blues basically just like moved up, and they did. So I had no prisoners and area down. So pretty good turn 2. They just basically moved up and blocked. Everything else set up for a lot of shooting going into turn 2. And then for him, he committed. So he moved up. This is his save roll. So I wounded him 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 times. And I think I killed, this was the Overwatch, so I think I killed 7 of these dudes. 7 or 8 of this whole unit with an Overwatch. Like it was insane. Yeah, and this was his save roll. It was very, very bad. So he basically blew away that entire unit. He commits his Terminator, so the Terminators move up. He shoots most of these guys, clears a path for the Terminators. These Terminators run down here to try and kill the Venom Crawler to get me off this point and stop getting primary. So these dudes, he had a Challenger card which gave an extra D6 for advancing and charging. So he basically advances like 15 inches down this way and gets him in range to charge because they have anti-vehicle 4+. And then these Terminators move up and charge the Lord of Skulls to try and just wipe out the Lord of Skulls. Because he wanted to move these guys up, shoot the Lord of Skulls, move these guys up and go there. But once these guys, Terminators came out and then these guys came out, I overwatched and just rolled so hot. And those were all of his saves and killed all of them. Then when his Terminators charged in, he just picked them up. So that's basically what should have happened last game with the full rerolls to hit and wound, but not this time. So this time I had the full rerolls to hit and wound with the critting on 6s for the lethal and sustain, and we wiped out that Terminator that came in. So the Terminators came in, I killed them. These Terminators came down here, killed my Venom Crawler, blocked me off from rapiding down here. These guys came down Deep Strike over here to set up for the next turn. These guys moved up here. I think these guys were shooting at this thing. These guys were the guys that were left. So there's 4 guys left with the character. They were on the point to shoot this way. And I believe that is it. These scouts are still there. And line is still off the table. So going into our turn, he had 0 for primary because he wasn't able to hold anything in the center. Going into our turn 3, we get 0 for primary because he took me off there. I didn't have anybody in there, and obviously nobody on there. So I got a 0 for turn 3. Not great. We get cleanse and storm hostile objectives. So I have to steal any one of these 2 objectives on top and bottom. Cypher moves up to cleanse because cleanse is 5 points now, which is really good. So this guy moves up to cleanse there. I think Vastor moves up to cleanse here. We commit our 1 Venom Crawler up there to move up, shoot, and charge these guys with 2 wounds. So the Venom Crawler does a good job clearing those guys. The Hellbrute moves up. He was going to get some charges off. He has a Flamer. He has 2 heavy Flamers, which is really good. So 2 heavy Flamers and 2 Power Fists is probably the way to go on your Hellbrutes. 2 Forge Fiends staying back. I should have committed them further up, like faster. But this guy had a line of sight to these Terminators. Vindicator moved up outside of 9 and just shot the Terminators, did a bunch of damage. Then the Forge Fiend finished him off going this way. But the Forge Fiend should have moved up because he's like really nowhere, which is going to kind of bite me in the butt on turn 5. This guy commits through the wall, moves up, shoots, charges, gets his whole unit in combat. He's got 11 wounds left. He does a sweep. I think kills all but the character. Yeah, so we kill all but the character. Character's on 2 wounds left. I'm down to 3 wounds on his clapback. And Lion rapided next to Terminators down here. So the Lion's coming into play. And on the clapback, I have 3 wounds. He kills me. Yeah. So on the clapback, this guy lives, right? And hits me back with 3 wounds left and kills me, which was awesome. So he then starts rolling his 6s. That's what it was. He does dev. So he rolled like 4 devs into me and just fucking murders me. So that kills this guy. Doesn't blow up this turn. If he would have, he would have died. He moves back to protect him for that extra CP. I have this objective pretty much held down. Lion's coming into play now. So Lion scooches up. I guess so the Lion charges into Cypher. Kills Cypher. These guys might have charged into the tank, piled in backwards. And then these guys are holding the point back here. Vindicator's still waiting to do something down here. I have all my guns. Still the full reroll guys alive with the Hellbrute. Now it's time for the Hellbrute to try and test his luck into the line again. And a huge difference from before without having the full rerolls to now having the full rerolls. The last game without having the full rerolls going into Lion and Terminators, almost nobody died. Now with the full rerolls going into Lion Terminators, we killed the Lion and 2 of the Terminators, 1-on-1 with just shooting. So 2 Forge Fiends and the Hellbrute and Vastor all going in, killing the Line pretty easily with these guys getting charged by Vastor and the Hellbrute. So all he has left right now, because we moved up this guy as well. So this guy moved up, shot this way, probably into the Terminators, and then everything else shot into the line to kill the Line. So going into turn 4, we had 8 points because we held this one, and he had this one. And then on his turn 4, he didn't have any, so he got 0 again. And then we kind of just start cleaning up. So this one goes away. Turn 5, we had Vastor, Hellbrute, and Forge Fiend on the point. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 OBSEC. He only has 2. So on turn 5, we have 15 for primary because we're able to hold that primary. We would just put as much as we possibly can on the point. So there's absolutely no way he can get primary on turn 5. So we just run everything on the point, surround this Terminator. This guy's still alive, which is good. Nobody blew up. These guys are just kind of running forward. These guys did their job screening out the back. These guys did their job screening out the back. Vindicator moved up. He had, I think, 2 shots this game. Venom Crawler moved up, killed these guys that were on the point. So he basically ran around this way, shot, and then charged. Killed those guys, and at the end of the point, he's got 1 guy left. So pretty brutal game going against the Dark Angels against Brian. First game was 75-78. Second game was 78-19. Primary, we had 28 out of 50. So one turn he held me to a 0, which is really good. Then turn 4, we get 8 because holding one of them is 8 points. And then on turn 5, if you hold this in, you get 15. So this is one of the hardest ones to score primary with. And then on secondary, we had really, really good secondary. So 8, 10, 9, 8, 9. So 40 out of 40 for secondary. And then for Brian, he had he was using his I guess actions for these instead of scoring points, but he had 0. I think it's the first time I held Brian to this score. Brian usually like is very, very close with but again, his list was very fun. So Brian had 0 out of 50. He had 1, 5, 3, 0, 0. So 9 out of 40 for secondary with a 10 for painting. So we had 19 total. Brutal game, but we talked it out at the end. Obviously the Overwatch here was just kind of nuts, like not being able to do armor contempt and rolling like shit and me rolling like hot just murders a 10-man unit. It's basically 3d3 plus 6 shots going into them, full rerolls to hit. 6s do sustain and lethal, so any 6 that you get, you basically just put the 6 aside for the lethal and then add a 6 back into the pot. Right? So let's say you roll 1-6 for the Overwatch, you hit, you basically put a dice on top of it and then put that dice to the side. So that way you have 1 dice that hit, which was the 6, that's the sustain goes over there, and that sustain was also a lethal, so that lethal is the 6. So every 1-6 is 2 shots, but one of those shots is a lethal. Nuts. So if I roll like 6 6s, right, with all the rerolls, that's 6 automatic wounds already before I roll the wound. So those 6 that hit, I get to roll those again into 2s because +1 to wound with my detachment. I'm strength 12. So wounding on 2s, let's say I wound you now 4 out of 6 times. That's 10 out of 6 hits. 10 saves out of 6 hits. Kind of nuts. So that Hellbrute combo with the full rerolls to hit and Vastor being strength 12 now is very, very strong. Like, I think that's one of the best combos in the game, honestly, with this detachment. And even in normal detachments, even if you don't have the full rerolls to hit, like bringing Abaddon, you can bring Abaddon on any single list. He gives you full rerolls to hit. You could bring this guy for full rerolls to hit, or you just bring Abaddon with Packbound Zealots for critting on 5s. So now your full rerolls to hit without Overwatch is critting on 5s for lethal and sustain with full rerolls to hit. That's insane. So that is kind of nuts. I actually want to do a video on that list. But yeah, super fun game always against Brian. Hopefully you guys learned how to be playing this army. Hopefully you watched all 3 videos. But if you guys are interested in the Patreon, you want that coach in your corner, ask any questions, list ideas, tactics. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world last year, so definitely good to ask any questions and any updates you guys need. And then for any merch, head over to the merch store in the description below, the Printify, and you guys get to have any hats, shirts, all that stuff. If you guys have any suggestions, have your Discord, message me. If you guys are Patreons, you get to DM me and give me some like ideas on what to put up on the merch store, so that way you guys can represent us at any GTs you guys are at. So guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Hopefully you enjoyed the 3-game series for the RTT. We got one coming up this weekend. Appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get. If you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons, you guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. That is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.